What happens when three buffoons give life advice, explore unrealistic situations, and give random topics more thought than they probably deserve? It's the Spitballers Podcast with Andy, Mike, and Jason.
I'm lying and I'm flying while you're crying and you're dying. Come on.
What? No! Why are we dying? Oh, it came and it went.
It's over too quick. I wanted a lot more bars.
Oh, he flew right through that scat.
Was that a scat? That was a rap.
It was a slide right through.
I mean, we've kind of blended those things together.
Yeah. Welcome in.
It's a scrap.
I feel like Owl went on the internet and said, "Give me a rhyming dictionary, please." And then just put a word in. He's like, "That's it. That's what I'm doing."
I remember the flying and the dying.
Yeah.
So what were those words?
I'm lying and I'm flying
Oh, he is
while
lying.
you're
Okay.
crying and you're
He's
dying.
lying.
Okay,
It's
okay.
a liar.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we're dying because we stink at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does it feel like knowing that at this exact moment, this is the furthest you are from your next scat, Al? You have 81 episodes to go.
It is very freeing.
83 episodes to go.
How sweaty are your armpits?
I mean, our AC's not working real well, so it's compounded, but they're sweaty.
That question is applicable at all times,
Yeah.
regardless of scats. Welcome in, Would You Rather?
Oh, you
Is
made
this-
it. Congratulations.
Yeah. Is
Thanks,
this
boys.
real life? And a draft today looking at pet peeves on a vacation, which there are some. I think as
Certainly.
we're all fathers, and so we know the difference between a true vacation and then like a technically you call it a vacation because you get it off of work, but
Right.
maybe there's a little more work in
So
it.
are we allowed, just throng this out there,
Kids are allowed as an answer.
Yeah, that's what the
Yeah.
question. Yeah,
I was just going to add it to my list.
Yeah, family. I want to go on a solo vacay.
So we'll draft those vacation pet peeves, and I guess Jason will have the first pick then, right? Because you are the one that had.
Yeah. Thank you for taking my scat. Owl.
You're welcome, buddy.
And let's kick it off.
Would you rather?
Our first Would You Rather question today comes from Shanae on
Okay.
Patreon. Would you rather go on a reality show like Survivor and win, but be hated by the viewers, or get booted off, but beloved by the viewers? And this is a great question because I'm a big Survivor fan.
Right.
So when you bring up, and there's other shows, right, like Big Brother and the dating shows and all that stuff.
Sure. Yeah, I think this applies to any and all versions of that show.
I think the right answer is the second one. I think it's better to have lost, but be beloved. And the reason I believe that is because I have seen.
But like particularly Survivor. I think this answer actually changes depending on the show.
I think that's fair. I think I am thinking
So
of
go
it
Survivor.
strictly through a Survivor lens. I think it's better to be beloved and lose for two reasons. One, you'll get invited back. If you're loved by the fans, you'll get to go
Okay.
play again. And if you play, you're going to get some amount of money. No one knows what that is, but you get some amount of money for playing.
But if you win, what's more likely to come back? If you win or if you're
You'll
beloved?
also
If you
potentially come
win.
back if you win.
And
However,
if you're hated.
However,
Yeah.
and if you're hated, yes. And I said there's two parts.
Okay.
The second part, in today's day and age, is personal brand. If people love you, you will have opportunities forever. Social media, personal brand, going on other shows, selling merchandise, having people like you. I think you'll make more money.
I think that you get all of that by being the heel as well. I think in today's day and age, you can take a persona that is hated and negative, and you're the bad guy, and you can make a brand out of that. You can have appearances and
But if
keep
you're
your
truly
name hot.
hated, won't people not like following you?
No, they'll hate follow you.
They will.
Yeah, I mean, you can have the anti-hero. Well, an anti-hero is not hated. But yeah, you can be someone who is despised and
There have
still
been-
get a big social media following.
There have been very famous villains, but I don't know if they're truly hated. Like if you're actually hated and despised.
What was
Like I feel like there's probably on those dating shows, there's been guys that are like,
no, who was the I don't remember her name. I want to say like something Nisa. It was like early.
What show are we talking?
The
Survivors?
The Celebrity Apprentice or whatever. Apprentice.
Oh yeah.
And she was like super hated,
right,
but super popular.
Yes.
She kept coming back, and everybody knew her name then. I don't I don't remember it now, obviously, but I think she's a good example of like you can be the disliked one and have a total brand.
And
but
obviously, if you win, you get $1 million.
that's the big difference.
Yeah.
That's we're burying the lead.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Would you rather win all of the money or not?
I do think
Omarosa.
Yes,
That is-
Omarosa.
yeah.
Yes.
It's an interesting name. I think whatever path gets you to having a life outside of one series of a reality show is whatever that is. And if you could do that with winning, that'd be the better way to go.
So the way I read this question is, if I win, what was the cash prize?
$1 million.
So I win $1 million.
Yeah.
But on the negative side, I am vilified and hated by dozens of people.
At least I would say
maybe 100.
I think 100 or hundreds, not like 1,000.
Right, of course.
There's got to be at least hundreds
Survivor
of people
viewership
that still watch Survivor.
Is got to be pushing the hundreds, right?
Yeah, because it's on CBS, right?
It's real interesting how they can keep giving $1 million away.
Hey,
A lot of places have gone down in their prizing. It's still $1 million.
I don't know. I don't know what's going. I don't know what money
Who's
laundering.
paying for that? Jeff Probst out of his own pocket?
Yeah, maybe Probst is laundering his money through Survivor. He's just. If we look at his taxes, how much are you losing a year, Jeff Probst? At least $1 million.
It would be pretty funny. I wonder what new viewership on Survivor's got to be about zero for the last 15 years.
They haven't gotten a new fan of that show since 1998.
It's the World of Warcraft of television shows.
Just
where
keeps going.
if you played in the beginning, you're still watching maybe, but no new players. Blake from the website, would you rather have to walk a half mile to get to your car every time you want to use it? That's crazy. Or have to manually change all 4 tires on the side of a highway once a week without notice.
Oh my goodness!
This is a great
No.
one too.
Number one,
Every time you want to use it?
have either of you ever had to do a side of the freeway, highway
Yes.
tire change?
Yes, I have.
I didn't do the
I've never
change.
had. I didn't have to
No.
do it, and every time you drive by the people who are doing it, like my heart just freaks out for these people.
Because of the threat of
Yes.
people hitting them?
Yeah, and even if everything is completely safe and kosher, if you're over far enough, you still have like multi-ton weapons flying by you at going 80+ miles an hour. So you're just hearing like the whole time. There's no way I'm getting a tire change.
Do a big rig sound too. Look, I was so lucky on my one highway flat tire.
Yeah.
That actually I've had a couple, but on one of them, I'm telling you, the second I pulled over with a fully blown tire, one of those the police trucks that circled the freeway to help people, pulled up right beside me and changed my tire for me.
Wow.
And I was gone. Because they do
Really?
that. They have the police trucks. Their whole job is to circle the freeway all day long and just help motorists.
Wow. I mean, I feel like if I were pulled over with a flat tire and then a cop showed up behind me, I'd be like, now what?
right.
What do you want from me?
Put your hands in the air.
Sir, you're not allowed to park here. I don't want to be parked here.
Is the half mile walk a death sentence in Arizona?
In Arizona, I mean, a half mile. If I were to walk a half mile to anything,
A half mile is like what, like a 10 to 15 minute walk?
It's like
10-minute walk, I
it's like
think.
2 quarter miles added up.
Yeah.
We're working on the timing though. How fast are you walking half a mile?
15 minutes.
Oh,
10
man.
to 15? Yeah?
Yeah, I'd say
Al's nodding.
10 to 12.
10 to
Wait,
12.
so-
At a
but-
good pace.
Every time.
Well, Jason's going to crawl the second half.
He's gonna need more like 20 then.
I better be walking straight to, like, my car better be parked at a shower. Just like that's I mean it has to, because
What if
by
he
the
left
time
his
I
wallet
got
in the
there,
car? Would he have, and went into a place, and does it get transported half a mile away instantly?
Yeah, if I mean every time
Yeah.
you want to use your car, I go in the building, and when I come out, it has been relocated a half mile away.
and how long?
Oh, that would stink.
So how long does it take you to change 4 tires?
Oh,
on the
that's
side of the
dope.
freeway?
long time.
Oh, so long.
Me.
Oh, yeah.
A long
even
time.
the most, even an expert with a gun is probably taking him a little while.
Really? I feel like an expert with a pneumatic
You
gun. They're just like,
No, but it's not just it's not just the actual the bolts and the nuts and everything. You have to
You gotta get the
lift
tire.
the car.
Where do these
Each
tires
time?
come from? You have to lug them around all day?
You get a magic one out of the trunk each time.
Oh, each time you close the trunk,
Yeah.
open it, and there's the next one?
In this question,
Okay.
yes.
yeah, that would have to be the case.
I think I have to take the half mile. I can't take the random chance I have 2 hours on the side of the road every
Yeah.
week.
Well, not only that, being on the side of the road, it is very dangerous. Just like Mike was saying, it's
Yeah.
not just dangerous feeling. It's actually a super dangerous position to be in. I know people that have been hit while they're on the side of the road. And so if you're doing this every single week, your odds of a real problem
Wonder
seem
if you
too high. You got to walk to your car here.
Would you become like incredible at it though? Like you'd be the fastest at changing
Yes.
tires, and you'd probably
You'd
get a road kit with flares and like
I would
lights and
definitely
stuff.
move past the having to YouTube how to change a tire every time I have to change my tire. I'd be able to skip that part.
If you don't have signal on the side of the
Oh,
road, you're doomed.
If it's the first time, I'm just gonna panic and forget how to do it, even though there's really nothing to it.
Yeah.
You just are like,
Bolt, bolt, bolt,
am I
bolt.
doing this right?
You got yourself a jack in your car?
I think so. We'll find out. We'll find
Where's
out.
the jack button?
And I'll tell you sometime in the next week as my
Yeah.
car explodes.
Ever since I mentioned the getting pulled over, I've been very paranoid. Ever since I said it's been so long, I've been looking over my shoulder. Fun fact, Al's mom didn't know how fast he was going. So that was fun.
I think she was proud.
She was proud he was not over 100. Did we ever say then? We never said it on
I don't
here.
think we said the number because she had to ask, but you were in double digits, which
That's
is
right.
impressive.
Yeah.
Now, is that just what you were caught at? Like you slowed down to double digits, or?
Yeah.
Oh, mom's gonna be upset.
Oh, let's keep this going.
Moving on.
Moving on. Okay, so are you
Good
final votes here? Are you going the mile, half a mile?
I'm gonna walk a half a mile, and
It'd be good for all of our health.
No, it won't. You think I'm leaving the house? I mean,
Oh,
Yeah.
you
if I
just
have
never
to-
leave.
Yeah, I am ordering everything in. Fellas, I'm working remote. I will be at my house until winter.
Jason has no car. It's equivalent of you having no vehicle.
Yes. No. Would you rather have to? I mean, let's change the question.
Okay.
Would you rather have to change all 4 tires on the side of the road once a week at random, or not have a car? I would rather not have a
I
car.
think I'd rather not have a car.
I'm gonna have to hitch rides. I
Uber.
can Uber.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I would absolutely pick no car. So I'll just wait till winter and then I'll walk to my car.
All right, Cassie from Twitter. Would you rather never have another vacation again, or have to spend 2 weeks in prison every time you return from a vacation?
You mean just going back to work? Am I right?
Oh man,
Am I right, America?
Am I right, America? All the people in prison right now are like, no, I'd rather have a job.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
This is, I just don't know how good of a vacation I can plan to make that worth it. Are there other prisoners in prison?
There are.
Okay. I'm
But what if we
never
say,
have another vacation again, Your Honor.
We'll say the low security, like white collar.
Oh, like one of them, like Martha Stewart prisons?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've actually wanted
not
to go
gonna
to
get-
those.
You're not going to get hurt. We'll say that.
Yeah, it's just bored for 2
If
weeks.
you want to know the answer to the vacation
Uh-huh.
without the family,
It's a
it's a white collar prison,
Let's-
baby.
Wait, I get 2 vacations.
Yes, you get
That's
you
two
get to rest after your vacation, Mike. Pull up a book and you can't go anywhere. You just have to lay there and read. Food will be provided.
Yeah, a white collar prison. I am trying to commit tax fraud on every real vacation so that I can follow it up with a 2-week vacation.
You're just calling the IRS. I think, hello, it's the IRS. You did it. You caught me. Who is this? No, you got me.
My hands are behind my back.
Lock me up.
Take me away.
Take me away.
Now, what are, just so that, just for educational purposes, what are the most white-collar crimes? Like, what are the ones that are going to put me in the fancy...
insider trading.
Yeah.
That's the Martha
Do you think
Stewart.
there's anybody else there? Like, the whole white-collar prison is just SEC violations. There's nothing else.
It's just they go around the room. What are you in for? Insider trading. And it just keeps going.
They just say the company name. They're like, IBM.
Who did you inside trade?
Money laundering, embezzlement, insider trading, tax evasion, bribery. If you want to get into some bribery,
Okay.
fraud is at the top of the list.
Yeah. Oh, no, give me I'll take the insider trading.
But man, the idea of 2 vacations.
It sounds pretty good. I will be definitely still going on vacations by the choice of this question. If I can know that this is a white-collar prison, I will take – I mean, that's a month off because I'm doing a 2-week vacation.
Your vacations minimum have to be 2 weeks each.
Do those prisons, are there the times when they're like, okay, your time's up, you're free, and then people are just like, nah. I'm good here.
Do you realize how much trading I did on the
$0
inside?
rent, free food.
I think what you do is right before you get out, the day before you get out.
Right.
You try to bribe the guard.
Oh,
That's another 3 days.
No! Is that on camera?
You caught me again.
Dang,
I'm the worst criminal.
I love the part where you called the IRS. You caught me. Busted. You had a wire on me, didn't you? Sir, we don't know who you are.
Yeah, who is this? Sir, this is a Wendy's.
All right, Stuart from Patreon. Would you rather live a life with no pain,
Okay.
but also no feeling of physical touch,
Ooh.
or live a life with heightened senses, but also heightened sensitivity to pain?
It's like, crap, what was that? The movie. Oh, sorry. I'll look it up.
Yeah, just keep thinking about that.
Yep, I will find it.
Heightened sensitivity. Any of us consider themselves high pain tolerance, low pain tolerance?
At least when I was younger, I was very high pain tolerance.
I don't. I consider myself a baby, but
So
I
that would
don't
be-
think it's actually pain tolerance. I think I'm okay with pain. It's like a mental. I'm a baby.
You're more like,
at the thought of things.
so you're more thrown off by like the fear of the pain that might be
Exactly.
coming than the
The
pain,
anticipation.
than enduring the pain.
100%.
So that is a baby, actually.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a baby.
I am a baby.
Equilibrium was the movie I was looking for. The Christian Bale movie where they're in the future.
I don't
You
remember.
guys haven't seen Equilibrium?
I've never heard of it.
I think I've heard of it, but
Oh,
that's
man. Put that on the top of your movie
It's
list.
good?
Really?
Yeah, I think this was like right around the exact same time as The Matrix. And it's the whole plot is it's the future and everyone takes a little vial of serum that removes
Takes their pain?
and removes all your emotions
Oh.
away.
Oh.
And then there's a rebellion of people who are like, I want to feel again. And
I mean,
it's Christian Bale, man. It's
So
really good.
you obviously have insight into this question.
Yes.
Having seen this movie.
Yeah, probably the expert for this question.
Right. So, Mike, if we
What
can
do we need to know?
If we can go to you, how did having no pain and no emotion, how did that affect them?
It looked like they didn't really feel much is where I will start. And yeah, it kind of became just pointing out, life is not life if you can't experience both sides of the
Yep.
spectrum.
yeah,
Which
that's
it's
true.
a really crappy that's one of
That's
those
100%
realizations.
true.
You get old and you're like, why is the bad stuff happen? You're like, well, because then there wouldn't be good stuff.
Yeah,
If it's only good stuff, there's no good stuff. If everyone's special, no one's special.
if you eat enough,
Sorry, everybody.
if
Sorry
you
to
eat-
drop that bomb.
If you eat enough lobster, it tastes like soap. Like if you just keep eating,
It tastes like soap?
yeah, that's the it's a saying.
That's a saying?
Yeah, because if you eat the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, it's no longer like it's only good compared to something else.
That totally makes sense, but I thought you were dropping another fact on me. People
no,
who
that's not
overeat
like a-
lobster, it turns into soap?
Cleans her mouth. No, I mean
Because it doesn't smell like soap.
the pain. I feel like I experienced so much more pain when I was younger.
Well, you get hurt
And-
more often, yes.
That's all I mean.
Yeah,
like
physical?
like
Yeah.
physical pain. Like I assume that's what we're talking about here, right? Are you talking about
Yes.
physical pain?
Yeah, you'll still have emotions and stuff. This is just your actual physical pain and sensitivity to touch.
Now there are people that
I need
don't
to feel.
There are people that don't feel pain at all, and it's a condition, and then they get really hurt because something happens to their body, and those
Right.
pains. So do we get at least like an email if we're bleeding or something, or like what?
Remove-
You have a nail in your
The
foot.
blood should give it away.
What about
But I mean that those people, they sometimes it doesn't.
if you're burning your hand?
Yeah,
it's going to be
they
too
burn
late.
themselves, or
I get that's part of what you got to live
Yeah,
with.
I mean,
You got to wear gloves all the time.
that's a pro and a con because you burned yourself. Either way, do you want to feel it more or just be like, oh, that's not good for me, but thank goodness I couldn't feel it.
maybe this is weird. Maybe this is 100% how you think, but I'm only really afraid of the last pain, the pain that like ends life. Right, we're all gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
So someday, I'm not afraid of like pain in between. Is that weird?
I don't really understand what you mean because
just mean,
the
like-
pain in between is just called pain.
I just mean like the pain that doesn't kill you, because all that pain will either like
Makes you stronger. It was right there, had to do it. Every car around America was singing
Yeah.
along with me.
They were.
Did I really set that on the tee?
A little bit. I
Yeah,
mean, it was
you
a
took
little
a leap.
stretch, but you know, when you have the opportunity, you got to take it.
Yeah.
I think you have to have more pain and more pleasure. I mean,
Yeah.
Mike's right. You don't have good without bad. You don't know what is nice without knowing what is mean, and so I'll take heightened sense of awareness to my physical touch.
Okay, I'm gonna go that way too. We got time for another one, Al, or should we move on?
Let's move on.
Is this real life?
All right, I'll kick it off. This one's it's perfect because I don't know, maybe this guy maybe it's a white collar situation here, but
Okay.
California man gets prison for nearly $9 million of phony cow manure to green energy investment scheme.
Oh.
So
Okay.
this fine gentleman, Ray Brewer, 66 years old, he was sentenced to 6 years and 9 months in federal prison. Don't know what kind, but he basically like scammed a lot of people.
He was BSing.
He was literally BSing
Yeah.
in the fact that he was basically going to build these anaerobic digesters, as he called them, at dairies to take manure, turn it into methane, sell the methane, and then promised all of his investors big profits.
It can't be something that he never thought could happen. You know what I
It
mean?
sounded like he was convincing.
Yeah, I mean, because eventually you're going to have to pay the piper. Like if I were to do that, if I were to say, you know what, I've got this great idea, I think I can convince farmers that I could build this exact tool and I can sell it to them. But me, Jason, I know I can't build that. Knowing that I can't build it, I already know that there will come a day
The
where
reckoning?
yeah, the reckoning will come.
But you feel like if you get the money and you get enough time, you may be able to get this thing made.
I think this guy thought that. I think this
Yes.
guy believed in himself, and then along the way was like, I can't do this.
Well, his plan, the way he paid back some people was he took more money from others. So he'd get more investments and then pay back the beginning people.
That's called a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, a little bit. And then he legitimately fled at the end of it all.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you have no choice.
First, he sent updates to all these investors throughout the process, pictures of machines that he said was his machine being built.
Were these just
Oh,
like stock
really?
photos?
They probably had like the Getty images in the corner.
Image search that picture.
But he literally he used all the money to buy himself land, a custom home.
Okay.
It said multiple Dodge Rams.
I think this guy did
Multiple Dodge
not. He did not
Rams.
believe he could do it because he wasn't even trying.
And then he
just
moved,
spending the money.
He assumed a new identity and moved out of
yeah.
state.
Okay, he never thought he could do this. Is just a total BS
We
artist.
gave this guy a lot of credit for nothing.
I do like the fact that this scheme that was planned was it was a poop scheme.
Yeah, no, that's fun.
Not good. So,
All right. Well, speaking of animals, a little bit, because that's where the poop comes from. I will go next, and I'm going to read my headline that reads: "The sea otter harassing surfers off the California coast eludes capture as her fan club grows."
I like where this is going already.
It's
I've heard a
awesome.
little bit about this one. Yeah.
This one. Have you heard about
no,
this?
I'm I'm
this
new to
is great because this is actually like, right. This is current. This is happening recently.
Wait, it's live and ongoing?
This is an ongoing issue, to the best of my knowledge that I've seen.
It is.
Yeah, I mean this article is from 5 days ago. They are still trying to capture Otter 841. That's the name.
They couldn't even name it?
I feel like that's a little rude.
Yeah, that sucks.
She's popular right now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we should
Name her?
name
Okay.
Otter 841.
Think of a good
What's a
name.
good otter name, though?
Well, but
What do otters do?
Let's have a little bit of context here. I'll tell you what she does. She steals surfboards from surfers.
Okay.
She wrestles them away from them aggressively.
How strong is this otter?
She's real strong. There's video. And she will flip the surfboard
Hold on.
over. She will bite the surfboard, tear chunks out of the surfboard. She's a very aggressive otter.
And yet, she has a fan club.
She has a fan club because if
guess-
you watch the video, it's pretty cool. Because you're seeing
Right.
an otter on a surfboard. And that's not like that otter. That's not that otter's surfboard. She didn't buy that surfboard. She said, I want that. That's my toy. And she's going to take it.
Maybe she tried to buy one and was denied
Because
due
she's
to
an
she's
otter.
an otter.
Yeah, that's not fair to her.
But
They're trying to
is she
capture
still at
her.
large?
They're trying to capture her for weeks, and they can't capture her because they can't net her or tranquilize her because she could drown. And so they have to basically get their hands on her. And so what they've been doing is, of course, I mean, you know what the bait is. You put a surfboard out
yeah.
there. Yeah.
They've been baiting her with surfboards?
And it's been working. She gets up on that surfboard, and then they try to tow her in.
Oh,
And then-
really?
Yeah. And then she gets wise to this. She's like, I know what you guys are doing. Just jumps back in. They can't catch her because that's her native land. She's
Wow.
much faster, more nimble than us
So
humans.
we can do all sorts of stuff, but we can't catch an
We
otter.
can't catch an otter.
Not in the ocean.
Old slippery fingers.
So-
Yeah, I could catch an otter in a room.
Bathtub?
Maybe, yeah. I'm reading a female southern sea otter can grow up to 50 pounds.
I was
And or even a northern sea can weigh up to 70 pounds. I had no idea an otter was that big.
if I'm being honest, for a decent amount of this segment, I've been trying to remember what an otter is.
You should Google it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think you.
I mean, they're
it's
And
not a walrus.
Are they, okay. Okay. These are slippery little.
They are
they're
very.
like. Have you ever seen like the
Oh, they
super
look-
cute.
the
They
otters
look super friendly.
where they're floating on their back and they got the baby on their tummy?
Uh-huh.
Like
I've
otters
seen
are
these
incredible.
at zoos.
Oh, otters are delightful.
They're
but
all
they-
the rage right
and,
now.
and I can tell you from that video, she's nearer to that 50-pound limit.
okay.
Oh, she's
Yeah, she's a big girl.
been eating surfboards.
She's been eating surfboards. The calorie count's very dense.
Yeah, that is dense.
But yeah,
Honestly, it frightens me that an otter can eat through a surfboard.
I was shocked when it said biting chunks out of the surfboard. I'm like,
Can they
Can
attack
I-
us?
can I?
Oh, yeah.
Could I bite a chunk out of a surfboard?
No.
I don't think so.
But your mouth was not designed for that.
Neither was hers.
I am seeing a picture of her bite a surfboard. Delightful. I hope
Yeah.
they never catch this.
I
otter.
hope they never catch her. Many people hope they never catch her, but there are signs posted everywhere.
Wait, signs to like stay out of the water?
Signs that say
There's an otter in the water.
that say warning, aggressive otter in these waters.
It should say, warning, totally gnarly and bodacious surfing sea otter.
Wow. Mike,
Surf
what do
at
you,
your own risk.
Yeah.
what do you got for us?
So I love this article. 'Cause when
Otter 841.
when I heard about this, I'll call it a scheme, but this is a positive one. And it was incredible that this person has figured out this system. So here is the headline. Texas man wins $100,000 suing robocallers and shares how you can too.
All right.
So essentially what this guy was, I mean, as robocalls are just it's the scum of the earth.
It's the worst.
These phones, these people and robots calling you, trying to trick you. They're the ones who are scamming people, and clearly it works, unfortunately. So this guy said he was on a trip, and at home was his wife and his new baby, and he was getting like these scammy calls from like fake hospitals and things that are like freaking him out about his kid. And so I think that's when he just decided, I have to do something about this. And he says, So he starts by he puts his number on the national do not call registry, which I've done that. It has not
Worthless.
It
It doesn't do anything.
Well, that's what I thought. It's worthless when it comes to stopping the calls, but now that you're on the list, now you just start going through
you
this.
unlocking something?
Yeah. So he like keeps the conversations going. Basically, gets more information about so he can actually track down the company. Then he reaches back out to that company and says, "Do not call me anymore." And then if they call him again, now they have. This is an infraction, and he documents all these things. So he takes these just scam artists to small claims, and settlements range from $500 to thousands of dollars, depending on how many times they've called you.
This is like his full-time job.
His full-time job is
he can't wait to get a scammer call. He's like he's sitting around going, "I need work. Well, go ahead, call me." Just waiting for that spam call.
So is this like he accumulates this with lots and lots and lots of different lawsuits and just gets little payments from each one?
Yes. And
what are we entitled to here?
The each claims he said it's about $500 to a couple thousand.
Oh, okay, all right.
Can be up to a couple thousand.
See, we need an app on the phone where you can just instantly. It's like sue this person on any call.
Yeah.
And then you click it, and then you sue them.
It's like we need more people that are able and willing to take this upon themselves. Because I mean, if you got enough people doing this, the calls will have to stop.
That is the hardest part about all of.
But it's going to take time.
The junk mail you get in the mail, and then the spam calls is that, like for me I have to care so much, and put in so much time, effort, and money to stop you from messaging just me. It's like everybody bets, the spammers bet on just no one caring. Like eventually you're just like, whatever.
And they win that bet so much that when people sue, it's still fine. They're still going to keep calling.
Yeah, but he has said he's like the money is nice, but he is doing this hoping, and he has a. I mean, of course, he sells a way to do it, a kit on how to perfectly take care of these illegal callers, but he's hoping it will stop it.
Very important question. Is he trying to sell these kits by phone?
Anonymously?
I hope not.
With a number that looks shockingly like your own?
Oh, no, I hope not. All right, well, that was Is This Real Life? 3 real-life stories that we found very interesting. Let's move on.
The Spitballers Draft.
If I'm lying, then you're dying, and I'm flying.
And you're crying.
All right, we are drafting vacation pet peeves. We've all decided we'd love a little bit of white-collar prison vacation, but on a normal vacation, there are always things that, they're not so fun. Most of them you just tolerate, right? They're just things you tolerate, but if you could take this list of 12 probably and fix them all, vacations would get much better.
Yes, they would. And when I'm looking at my list, because I've got the first pick here, I don't think there is a clear 101, like a universal 101 for that stretches across everybody. I have a 101. I have the worst part of every vacation, without a doubt, and so I'll be drafting it. But I think that a lot of people don't even mind this part. For some people,
I know what it's going to be.
Interesting.
For some people, it's easy. It's not a big deal. For us, it is the worst of the worst of the worst part.
This is it.
And it's packing.
Oh, Andy had it right.
Andy had it. He wrote it down.
It's not on my list, but that's a great one.
I mean, packing for some people is like a 10 to 30 minute ordeal.
Yeah.
Getting ready for a trip.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. The luggage is out at least a week early. We're putting some stuff over here. We're packing way too much. We're overthinking everything. Oh, my goodness, the laundry that has to get done. With the whole packing is what you need a vacation from for us.
Yes. I will say that in Jason's taken many vacations over the last 10 years of doing this podcast. I think almost every single time nearing his vacation, he will say the phrase to me, "Yeah, we were up until like 2 a.m. last night packing."
Yeah.
Like he will tell me days before. I was like, "Oh, did you get a good night's sleep?" "Yeah, well, not really. I mean, we were up until."
Not gotten better at this.
I don't know, man. Every time.
Could he be doing something wrong?
I think so.
let me. There is.
I wager, yes, 100%. They are doing
He's
something wrong.
putting all the clothes on
There-
the outside of the container.
There has not been a single vacation in the last 8 years where we have not said, "I think this is the one." I think
Oh,
we're
that
gonna
you'll get it figured out?
Yep. I think we're gonna be.
I like
this,
that
this is gonna
optimism.
be smooth. Like, no, we're gonna be prepared. This is the one. And even sometimes a week before, 3 or 4 days before, we think we are prepped and ready.
If you want to
I
make
can
some
tell you right now that if we leave in the morning, then we go to bed at 4. If we leave in the day, then we are screaming, tearing our hair out right up until about 30 minutes after we should have left.
If you want to make some quick money in
man.
Phoenix, Arizona, become a professional packer, and Jason will hire you.
I will.
All right, I'm up.
That is correct.
All right, I'm going to go with one that a lot of people can relate to. I think the implications of it are the most significant in terms of aggravation, frustration, being totally potentially displaced, and sadly, my own mother is dealing with it right this moment
no.
in time. And that
Mama
would be
skids?
Mama Skids. That would be flight delays.
Yes. Yes, flight delay is my
delays
number one.
Are brutal. It is you're trapped at a best case scenario, you're trapped at the airport for a while.
Yes.
Worst case, you get canceled, you miss connecting flights, all of that stuff. You have no control. Like a lot of these things that we're going to talk about today, you have some level of control. The packing, it may suck, but you're responsible for this.
I wish.
And so, but the flight delay is like, I can't go and make the plane safer, or the pilots take off or make them arrive on time. So flight delays, I think, are everybody knows the feeling when they get on the flight that they're supposed to be on and they actually are taking off on time, and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Whew.
I did it.
Breathe easy.
Now all I have to do is not crash.
Yeah, the worst part of the delayed flight is it's stealing from your vacation.
Yeah.
Like, this is precious time. I don't know if I've mentioned it or not, but I had a trip years and years ago. I was going with my dad and my wife. We were going down to Australia, and we went to the airport. Everyone's all ready to fly down, which is a super long flight, and our co-captain, something happened, and they broke their arm.
Whoa.
And they could clearly no longer fly the plane, and they couldn't get someone to do it. So they had to send everybody to a hotel, come back. I lost an entire day of an international trip.
How mad were you?
It felt really bad. I mean, it's like I feel bad for this guy who broke his arm, but you're like, we've planned this for a year. You know it's really expensive, and you're like, you've just lost an entire day because of something you have no control over, and it's
not
really
good.
sucks.
It's not good. Packing, flight delays. Mike,
Yep.
you have 2 picks.
All right. This one is near and dear to my heart as of right now because I just got back from a weekend trip with some of my buddies, and it is bad Uber drivers.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a new contender over the last 15
Yes.
years, but it is a strong one.
We had one particular ride where it was
Fear for your life.
there were at least three moments of
Sheer terror?
Of sheer terror, one,
Oh.
including one on a freeway where the driver didn't listen to the thing that said, get into the right lane. We stayed in the left lane. And then as the exit was approaching, you heard the Uber driver cursing, start slowing down on the freeway,
Oh, always a good idea.
multi-lane change, get close to it. Like, we're now going maybe 30 miles an hour on the freeway, and we still miss it.
You still missed
Oh, we
it?
still miss it. So now we've added 10 minutes on because we have to go into the city, loop, and come back. Then on the way out, there's a whole bunch of stop signs in a row. One of those stop signs was just simply not.
It's just there for show?
Was not viewed as necessary.
Oh, no.
So there was like a little brake check in the middle of the intersection.
We had to make up time,
As
Mike.
no, I'm saying they kind of paused because they realized they had ran the stop sign, and there was one other one I cannot remember, and it was just like, what is happening? Like this is just a 10-mile drive up the road, and there's 3 times that we could have gotten in a really bad wreck.
My wife and I, when we were traveling, had a 45-minute Uber driver with BO that
Oh, yeah.
they'll write stories about. I mean,
Like
this
Seinfeldian.
I mean, it was like, and it was this choice of like, it was so humid and hot out that if you roll the window down, you get humid and hot.
Right.
But if you leave it up, you get air conditioned BO. It was a tough call.
What'd you choose? That's a good would you rather.
We chose to be humid and hot.
Oh, yeah.
And
he must have smelled really
I've
bad.
also been in Uber driver like vehicles where they're like, it's like boiling hot, and then you're like, can you turn the air on?
Oh yeah.
Was it with you, Mike?
Yes, it was.
Me and Mike was in this, and I'm like,
It was hot.
I've heard
mean-
this story, and I remember the time. It was
I said,
extremely hot.
can you turn the air on? And I believe he said, no,
Yeah.
I'm saving money.
Yeah.
Which is just not okay.
No, and it was the insanity of, okay, so the gas money you just saved, you lost more than that in your tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because your tip is going to
Your tip is zero now.
If you tell the passenger, I'm sorry, I cannot turn on my air conditioner, bro, your tip is not gonna be good.
Yeah. So, all right, bad Uber drivers, Mike.
All
Your
right.
first pick. You've got another pick.
So I will go with one that, look, it's part of it. It really is annoying though, but I'll go with jet lag. If you have ever done an international.
He's an international man.
No,
over
it's
here.
not just international, but I say if you've ever done a coast to coast in the United States of like you're going, from the East Coast to the West Coast, so you gain all that time, except your body is like, it's 9 p.m. and the sun is still shining bright. You haven't had dinner yet, and yet you are exhausted and you're fighting this urge to go to sleep. It's just it's just an annoying part of travel that everyone experiences it.
Right.
You have to fight through and just power on. But it would be great if there was a way to never have jet lag and just get that. It's like because you lose time.
You do.
You lose
And
time of your vacation.
Feels like it's multiple days to fix
It
it
can
all.
be.
So, all right, you went with jet lag. Back to me. My last pick was the flight delays, and I'm gonna combo this. This is not. I don't think it's certainly not everybody, but it might be most people to some small degree, some people to an extreme degree, and unfortunately, if you have it, if you deal with it, you got to deal with it, and that would be fear of flying.
Yep, trip anxiety is on my list.
Yeah, you just some people you're willing to fly, but you don't like to fly, and so you've got to jump through all the hoops just to make
Yep.
it slightly tolerable to take off, and all the anxiety that can come with. Golly, I just saw some bad turbulence on a Instagram reel the other day.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone in the plane thought they were dying
Is
for
it
about
the
10
Spirit
seconds.
Airline
Yeah.
one? Yep.
Yeah.
I just saw it.
Yeah, and it didn't look like a good time.
No, it looked like a pretty good
And it
drop,
was-
and
it-
everyone.
Full screams, and then you can hear a couple people go,
It's okay.
We're okay.
It's okay.
We're okay. It's okay.
Oh man, I gotta go watch this video.
So, but yeah, the trip, the flying, fear of flying. I think.
It's not just fear of flying, and for my brothers and sisters out there with the anxiety of I get overall trip anxiety, and I don't even know what's happening. I'll just have 2 days before the trip, and I'm just like inside, just my brain's all messed up,
all the anticipation.
and I'm like, what? I don't even know what's going on. I'm not thinking about the trip, but my body is, and my
Yeah.
body is telling me it's time to panic. It's so obnoxious.
All right. Well, Jason, back to you. 2 picks for Mr.
All
Moore.
right, all
He's
right.
already he just finished packing. You're probably happy. We
I
took
am
that
not
much.
yet done,
you're not
but
done.
I'm in process.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got 2 picks here, and they're both kind of related. I think this goes back to needing to go to prison for a vacation,
All right.
just escape, some parts of vacation. So I'm going to start with this one. Kids complaining.
Ah, yes.
I mean,
ah, yes.
it's dude when
Tale as old as time.
when you're at Disneyland, you're there.
Yeah.
They got a churro in their hand
You're at Disneyland.
as we wait in line for a super fun ride, and they're complaining.
When's it gonna get? When are we gonna get
and
to the
it's
front of
like,
the line?
Can you play a game on your phone?
yeah, it's like and I get it. I do get it. I do understand it.
I
Sometimes
remember
it's hot.
doing it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's human nature, but it just is one of those things that's like,
Do you know what I spent on this trip?
yeah, never enough.
forever.
Yes, kids complaining is
so that's
the worst.
That's a good pet peeve on a vacation that you spend
Sure.
a lot on. Oh, it's not fun enough for you.
Try this.
But let's say they're not there. Let's say they're at home.
Oh,
You know what else is a big pet peeve?
what's that?
Souvenir shopping. I hate it. I hate the obligation.
Oh, man.
I hate the finding it. I can never find something good enough.
Yeah.
And I'm not like in a city. Like I think sometimes my family thinks when I go to a city, I'm at the mall. I'm just having a good time. I'm just here to shop. No, I'm nowhere where I can get you something good. You want to know where I'm going to get your gift from? The airport.
Yeah.
You want to know what my options are? It's very limited. It's
Snow globe, snow globe, snow
Yes,
globe.
Snow globe was great.
The
when-
snow globe
yeah.
is the biggest pro tip out there. If you have a kid who's like kind of into the collecting or sentimental about anything, I do it too. You have to get because the first thing that you're asked when you get home is what'd you get me? You're like, oh, okay. Well, I've gotten over that. I don't like to hear that. I just accept it. But the snow globe, like if you have a kid who collects, just anytime you go somewhere new, you just get him a snow globe, and it's easy because all the airports got them.
I did the same thing with my daughter, and so like she's easy, and now one of these other two fart faces is like, I don't know. I mean, I just get candy because if I just bring home candy, they're
I had to
fine.
resort to candy too. Like, was this made here? Yeah, perfect.
Right, it's got to be. It can't be Starburst.
Give me a Kit Kat.
But it's got to be like, if I'm in San Francisco, it's got to be saltwater taffy or something.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's a good one. I didn't have that on the list, but it's a great one. The souvenir anxiety, it's a real thing too, because maybe you find 2 kids worth of good gifts.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
And you can't find the third one, and then you're like,
oh,
what,
they're gonna be
do I
so
downgrade
upset.
the other 2 kids' gifts?
Oh, and also,
Yeah.
when you buy 3 small, absolutely unimportant, throwaway garbage gifts for these humans when they receive them, that will be $250 because airport shopping is absurd. Like, how much is this little stuffed animal? $55.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair.
And you look and they go, where else are you going to go?
Yeah.
That's what they just say.
That's the name of the shop.
You say, yeah.
Where else are you going to go?
You don't need to buy that. Go ahead.
We're all
Go
you
home
have.
without it. I dare
Got the
you.
we're all you have upsale.
You're like, you can go to that shop? We're all owned by the same people.
Right.
We have the same stuff, and it costs the same.
Oh, they're making so much money. All right, I have flight delays and fear of flying. One more pick here. I'm going to take this one. I think it could last till the 4th round, but it's the most as you get older traveling pet peeve you could ever have.
Oh, I know.
Different beds and pillows, my friends.
Oh, okay.
Nothing like a good chiropractic emergency for my vacation. The bed, let's just put it this way. More often than not, if you have a vacation in which you do get a good bed, it's an actual story. You're like, you know what?
Yeah,
the bed was actually pretty good.
that is super true. Like if you find yourself with a great pillow selection, I tell people about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, oh man, these pillows, it was great.
Yeah.
Heavenly.
I actually slept because I've been on the other side of it where you go and you're like, oh,
you get the
gosh.
paper thin pillow.
Oh,
what are we doing with those?
Or
There's
you
nothing in there. It's just a sheet.
Or you get the pillows that are like really big and thick, and you put your head on it.
Cumulonimbus.
Yes, you put your head on it, and it disappears. My head is flat on the bed.
The edges are like folding up to suffocate you.
Your head is flat on the bed because it goes straight through
It
the
just
pillow.
is like that's. But the pillow looks big. What are they doing? Filling it with air with holes all around?
So unfortunately, that's a true one. I wish you could bring your own bed.
Yeah, and pillows.
Yeah. All right. We are back to Mike.
All
your
right.
final 2 picks.
So, man, this is a tough one to narrow it down, but I will go. Again, recency bias. It is the airplane seat shakers. So there's.
Oh man, that's a narrow one.
Well, I mean, it's like this can be everything of like you have a kid who's behind you. They're always kicking your chair, and for whatever reason, their caretaker is not stopping them from kicking your chair. But like when the people behind you have to get out of their row, and I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what obstacle course they are dealing with, but these people grab my chair, because I'm
Oh,
usually in the
no.
aisle, and then it's like a full 9.0 earthquake is happening as I'm just getting rattled around because they can't figure out how to get out of an aisle.
I've never thought of the aisle being the earthquake zone.
Yeah.
I have watched people use the chair in front of them.
Oh, I do it. I'm
as-
guilty.
Are you kidding
I'm
me?
going to
Dude.
fall if I don't.
There
Hands
are
off the chairs in front of you.
There are
now that I know.
handles. there are places to push yourself
Yes.
up from your seat.
No, I can get up from my seat. I have to walk across two people.
But I'm just talking about, let's say you're sitting on the aisle and you're just going to stand up.
oh no, you better not use
I
that
watch
chair.
people who grab two hands on the chair in
no.
front of them and they
pull-
just lift it. They lift themselves up like it's an arm workout, and they're just. I can't imagine being that person in front.
Oh.
It's like, whoa!
I
what
can't.
happened?
I can't because that's me in the
I
chair
am a
getting shook.
window guy, so I've never experienced
Oh.
this. So you get shook
Yeah,
all around.
all the time. All the time.
I was going to ask you the question, and I'll go to both of you real quick. How many kicks in the back of your seat until you're actually upset?
Upset 3.
Yeah.
Say something 40.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
I'm not gonna
Now,
turn it because I
wait.
know it's a kid.
Say, what about the glance? What is your glance line?
So I'll
Is that
do
like
I'll
10?
do a couple half glances.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
do they?
Sit up, turn my head where they can go, oh. I just want
I've
them
done
to
those in the
notice.
movie theater,
I want
man.
them to notice that I notice.
Yes.
And then hopefully they go, oh, shoot, I think he was responding to my kick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to look back. I don't want to make eyes. But I want them to know, like, once you kicked my chair, the guy in front of me did a thing. You know?
Yeah.
You changed what he was
Yeah.
doing.
All right, Mike. One more pick
All
for
right.
you. That's a funny one.
All right, and then the final one. This was the second thing I thought of, so I'm gonna keep with it. I think it might be niche for me. This is like if you don't have an Uber driver, right? You rent a car, but you know
Oh,
that
no.
at the end of the process, you have to fill up the gas tank. But timing up when you actually fill the gas tank, so you're not gonna drop it off, and they're gonna mark me down. I don't know how full a gas tank has to be before I'm gonna get some kind of penalty. So it's the drive back. You're like, is that the gas station? No, we're too far. But then you start getting too close. You're like, I need a gas station desperately. So this is a
That's
ridiculous
really,
amount of anxiety.
Really funny because I now know you've gone through this.
Oh yes, many times.
The last time I rented a car, they had a big sign up for the first time. I'd never seen it, and it said, "If you pay for a full tank right now, we'll charge you this much per gallon."
That's awesome.
What?
And I paid it then,
Yeah.
so I could bring it
Oh.
back at any level.
Freedom.
Now, there's a little anxiety there, too, because I was trying to bring it back as low as possible because I didn't want to pay. I
You
mean,
will
I paid,
never get this to a gas
I
station.
paid for a full tank, and I was
Right.
like, you know.
Oh, so you don't know. You know how much it's going to cost.
Yeah, because if you bring it back without prepaying, they'll charge you that like a huge
Yes,
fee.
the like $8
So
a gallon
they
or whatever.
introduced the middle option, which is basically like, we'll charge you
Interesting.
basically what the going rate is, but you have to buy a full
Full
tank
tank.
right now. And so I did it, which was great.
I would do it every time.
Yeah.
I would
But then
do it-
I almost needed gas, and I was like,
Oh,
no,
we cannot-
no way. And if I do, I'm only putting a gallon in.
Put
So
in exactly what I need, but it's the worst balancing act, and I know it probably doesn't matter. They just want it mostly full, but I still feel like if I drive the car in and the needle is on like the second notch,
Yeah.
like I'm getting a huge bill.
that's hilarious that was in your head. All right, my final pick. I have flight delays, fear of flying, and not being in your own bed and pillows. I'm going to go with a little bit of a different answer here, but I think it works. What is one of the pet peeves? Being disappointed.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
What
All
if what
right.
you thought you were going to do didn't live up because
Yeah.
the money's spent, the trip, the drive, the flight, whatever it is. Being disappointed is a possibility.
The
And
brochure looked better.
yeah,
You're-
that's right.
Or your team lost.
You should have disappointment insurance that you could buy.
Ooh.
I just don't know how they'd
Yeah,
vet that.
They would go bankrupt immediately.
I
How is
hated-
everyone disappointed with everything?
So that's my final one. Jason, you have packing, kids complaining, souvenir shopping, and one final.
I got a lot of ways I can go here, but I'm gonna stick with
Packing again.
Kind of.
Okay,
honestly,
okay, let's hear
kind
it.
of.
Unpacking.
That is another one, but I want to stick with not just things I don't like on a vacation, but pet peeves, things that I think are insanely stupid. Just drive me crazy. Absolute nonsense. It's the 50-pound suitcase shuffle.
Yeah. Okay.
The
yes.
50-pound
Yes.
suitcase
Oh, my
shuffle that you
goodness.
have to do when you check your
Your
bags.
packing would be a lot easier.
Every bag has 50 pounds.
Yes.
You go 51 pounds, that's like $100,000.
Yes.
But here's the thing.
We're going to garnish your wages, sir,
I'm
for
also-
this
You
mistake.
get a
I'm
lien
also-
on your house.
I'm checking in this bag over here, too. That bag's at 35 pounds.
Yes. Yes.
That bag's at 35 pounds. They're going to make me
Take it physically
take
out.
it out of this suitcase
Both going in the same plane.
and move it to that suitcase, or they'll charge me crazy rates. They're going to slow me down. They're going to slow the line down behind me. And I get it. You got
It
to weigh
should
the
be
luggage
combined
because
weight
you're
for a family.
Absolutely. It should be, how many bags are you checking? You have 250 pounds because that's all that matters.
They got to protect the workers, though. You can't have a 100-pound bag that someone's just.
Is that what it's for?
I would think so.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
Okay.
Because you can't make them carry
Yeah,
them.
then-
it's like imagine being someone who's throwing the bags in. All of a sudden, you get to a 100-pound bag.
no,
You
no.
don't
My
realize.
back!
And then
No, that's
your
that's
back is
fine.
toast.
That's fine. But
But
what
there
needs
should
to
be
happen?
like a threshold.
There's got to be some grace. There's no grace. You go there at 51 pounds, they'll stare at you like you are a monster. And
Get out of my airport, sir.
there is just so
That's a
much
good one.
anxiety when I'm sitting there going up and I'm putting it. You know, I
You do-
weigh them at home.
I was gonna say we do the way.
Oh, I weigh it at home, and it's. I mean, that has been a real lifesaver. Doesn't stop the anxiety because
I
I'm pushing
understand.
the limit.
You
know?
are pushing.
I'm
That's
at
why they can't give you
49.9.
grace, brother. If they give you grace, you're going to push that limit.
I'm at 49.9. I go there. I'm like, please.
That's a good one. That's a great one. Some other ones I almost mentioned. This one was probably more true before our phones were in our pockets. But you talk about anxiety on a trip. Being lost. It's a new place, and getting lost in a new place was on my list.
I had just that we actually have to pay for baggage now. Where
Yeah.
like kids these days, but it wasn't always that way. And then when some of them started sneaking it in, you're like, well, I'm not going to use that airline, and you thought it would go away, but it did not. And I'm surprised that this one didn't get drafted by you two. Is bad toilet paper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's because we bring our.
We do pack.
Yeah, you have since fixed the issue.
We have.
So one of the ones on my list is bad water pressure.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've thought
Absolutely.
about, like, should I bring a shower head? Just like,
Oh, man.
I know this one's not limiting me. Like,
Yeah.
I can't stand vacation shower pressure. The whole world. I mean, I get it, but I don't like it.
No, that makes
I
sense.
get it. I just don't care.
Yes, you see me.
Weather roulette was on the list.
Yeah.
Because the weather, you don't know.
Yeah.
Yep. Bad weather. Obligatory post-travel illness.
You get sick on the airplane.
That's fears of forgetting something.
Lost luggage.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
it's usually medicine for
Oh,
us.
yeah,
It's like,
I've done
did,
the-
did you bring it? Did you bring it? Yeah, I know I brought it. I know it's in there. Is it in there?
I've had to
Yes.
call the doctor to prescribe something for a different state before 2 times and then go find the Walgreens in another place. All right. That is it. Al, did we forget anything? Any pet peeves that you have on the top of your mind?
Crowds, like
Oh, yeah.
Disney or the
Yeah.
beach, any crowded places.
Yeah, that's again prison. That's where we want to be.
What did we learn today?
I learned that prison can be a vacation. If it's a short enough stint.
Mine was easy. I learned that otters are way bigger than I thought they were.
I was gonna say I learned that otters can bite through things I didn't think they could bite through, but
What was it? Otter 841.
841.
2, 4, 6.
Keep on rocking. Keep on rocking, Otter 841.
That is it for today's show. Thank you for listening. Tell your friends. We'd appreciate it, and we'll be back later.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the Spitballers podcast. To see what other nonsense the guys are up to, check out SpitballersPod.com.